For thousands of years, an entire continent has been a complete secret, hidden under a sheet of ice over a mile thick. I'm talking about Antarctica, a silent frozen world. But today, scientists are finally unlocking its secrets. And what they're finding in the dark under the ice is literally changing everything we thought we knew. From impossible life that lives in complete darkness to weird anomalies that can't be explained, the stuff coming out of Antarctica is just terrifying. Section 1. The world beneath the ice. So, when you picture Antarctica, you just imagine a huge, flat, white desert of ice, right? Well, that's just the top layer. Underneath that ice, which is over a mile thick on average, is an entire hidden continent with mountains and valleys just like anywhere else. There's a mountain range so massive it splits the entire continent in two. This isn't just a boring slab of ice, it's a lost world. For years, scientists guessed there might be liquid water under all that ice, created by the insane pressure from the glaciers and heat from the earth. And then they actually proved it. They discovered a network of over 400 hidden lakes that haven't been seen in millions of years. The most famous one is Lake Vostok. It's one of the biggest lakes on the planet, buried 2 miles under the ice. This lake hasn't seen sunlight in at least 15 million years. What could possibly live in a place that crazy and isolated? The first guess was nothing, but the truth was way, way crazier. Section 2. Ghost mountains and volcanic caves. And before we even talk about the life, you have to see the world it lives in. We're not just talking about buried lakes. In the 1950s, a team found something that shouldn't exist. A mountain range bigger than the European Alps, completely buried under the ice. They named them the Gomburtsev Mountains. For 50 years, nobody knew if they were even real. How could mountains that big be completely hidden? Finally, we used modern ice-penetrating radar and mapped the whole Phantom Mountain range, finding sharp peaks and deep valleys stretching over 750 miles. Scientists think these mountains are super ancient. They are the reason the entire East Antarctic ice sheet started forming 34 million years ago, burying them and protecting them from any erosion. And this secret world isn't all frozen. Antarctica has active volcanoes like Mount Erebus, which has a literal lake of lava bubbling at its top. But the craziest part is the volcanoes under the ice. The heat from these volcanoes melts the ice from the bottom, creating massive caves made of steam. These caves can be warm, completely protected from the insane cold on the surface, and maybe even filled with water. Just think about that. A hidden warm cave system locked under miles of ice. It almost sounds livable. Section 3. Life where it shouldn't exist. And this is where things get really crazy. For years, scientists drilled deep into these places, asking one simple question: could anything actually live here? In 2013, they got the answer. A team drilled into Lake Whillans, a smaller buried lake, and pulled up water samples. And when they looked under a microscope, they saw it: living cells. It was the first time anyone had ever proven that life exists in a subglacial lake. And it wasn't just a few little microbes. These dark waters, which hadn't seen the sun in thousands of years, were filled with bacteria. These things are called extremophils, and they don't need sunlight at all. They survive by literally eating rocks and minerals. They've been evolving completely alone for hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of years. In one sample, 23% of the DNA they found had never been seen before. It belongs to life forms that are completely new to science. What else is down there? What other kinds of life could have evolved in these dark, isolated places over millions of years? We are just getting started. CTA. But the mysteries are way bigger than just biology, from massive gravitational anomalies to secrets frozen in time. If you think this journey into the unknown is as insane as we do, this is the perfect time to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, so you don't miss what we find next. Section 4. The Wilkes Land Anomaly. The mysteries in Antarctica aren't just about life. In a part of East Antarctica called Wilkes Land, NASA satellites found something massive and just plain weird. It was a huge gravity anomaly, basically a giant disturbance in Earth's gravity, hidden under the ice. This thing is centered inside a giant circle over 300 miles wide. So, what could possibly be big enough to do that? The main theory is absolutely terrifying. It's the scar from a giant meteorite impact. Scientists think a meteorite, maybe way bigger than the one that wiped out the dinosaurs, smashed into Antarctica 250 million years ago. An impact that big would have been an apocalypse, possibly causing the Permian-Triassic extinction, the single biggest extinction event in history, killing over 90% of all ocean life. We're not 100% sure, but the data points to a massive disaster whose scar is still there today, right under miles of solid ice. Section 5. Ancient secrets frozen in time. The ice in Antarctica isn't just a wall, it's a time machine. When snow falls and gets crushed into ice, it traps everything inside it: air bubbles, dust, and even DNA. By drilling deep into the ice, scientists can literally look back in time, and they just found something incredible. They found ancient DNA that is 1 million years old. That is the oldest marine DNA ever found, and it shows us how an entire ecosystem can change over a ridiculously long time. But they're not just finding tiny life. In the transantarctic mountains, explorers have found the fossils of entire forests. I'm not talking about leaf prints. I mean entire tree stumps, 280 million years old, still in the ground. These trees had somehow figured out how to live through months of complete polar darkness. Finding these forests is proof that Antarctica wasn't always a frozen desert. It was a living green world that went through a catastrophic deep freeze. Section 6. The unexplained sounds. If the discoveries aren't wild enough for you, then listen to this. Back in 1997, underwater microphones picked up a mysterious and extremely powerful sound. The sound was so loud, it was heard by sensors over 3,000 miles apart. They named it the bloop. Because the sound was so unique and so loud, louder than any known animal, people went crazy with theories. Was it a secret military weapon, a weird earthquake, or was it some giant unknown monster hiding in the deep? For years, nobody knew. The sound was eventually traced to Antarctica. In 2005, scientists said the sound was probably just a massive icequake, a giant iceberg cracking off a glacier. Even though there's an official explanation, the insane power of the bloop was a scary reminder of what's happening in this part of the world. And a lot of people still wonder what could possibly make a sound that loud. Conclusion. So, you have a continent with ghost mountains and hidden lakes, a world of ancient forests frozen in time, and weird microbes evolving in total darkness. A land that has scars from ancient apocalypses and makes noises that can be heard across entire oceans. The truth is, we have explored more of the surface of Mars than we have the land hidden under Antarctica's ice. Every new drill we send down, and every sample we pull up, gives us another piece of a puzzle we're just starting to understand. And the discoveries are getting crazier, more important, and honestly, more terrifying. What we've found already has rewritten our planet's history. The only question left is, what other secrets are still waiting for us in the cold and the dark, under the ice at the bottom of the world? Subscribe to unlock a world of fascinating facts you won't hear anywhere else.